Well, we're already into week number 2, broadcast week number 2 into the new year, 2010. It is Monday, the 11th day of January, 2010. We're going to be live here for the next 4 hours, as we are every weekday, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Central. That's 12 noon to 4 p.m. Eastern. Now, I do have some guests coming up towards the end of the show today on Bankergate, or Bankstergate, as I am dubbing it. But I want to, out of the gates, open the show up, but I'm specifically telling listeners. I am specifically telling listeners that I, in the first hour, want to talk about one of 3 things, because I want to try to put the focus on these 3 things to get a grassroots salvo launched. Now, we did this together with many other patriots and freedom lovers and justice lovers with Copenhagen, and torpedoed that key global governance summit. And we torpedoed their swine flu hype. It is now all over the mainstream media the last 2 weeks that record numbers of people refused to take the vaccine. The government tried to force it in several test states. That blew up in their face legally. That fell apart. And I've been meaning to cover those stories. I've been so focused on the government takeover of health care, on the naked body scanners going in. That now is in trouble. But if we keep pressing, we will defeat it. There are so many things that if we focus on them together, it can cause a chain reaction in the alternative media that breaks into the mainstream media. And when we focus on something, we're able together to really knock a dent in the New World Order's skull. So I want to try to focus on 3 subjects. The big one that we need to get rolling is Bankstergate. That's what I'm calling it. Some are calling it Timmygate with Tim Geithner, but he's only one of the crooks involved in all of this activity. I want to go over the latest developments with Bankstergate for those that don't know what's going on. This broke last Thursday, Friday, and throughout the weekend. And then I want to open the phones up on Bankstergate, on the government takeover of health care that's destroying the Democratic Party in front of everyone's eyes, because they're bought and paid for. It doesn't matter if almost all of their constituents on the right and left are against it. They've been bought and paid for. They're going ahead with it. That's in conference committee, could go out to the president's desk any day. So again, the takeover of health care, Bankstergate, and the naked body scanners. We need to focus on all 3 of those issues, and more coming to the fore. We have the situation unfolding and developing and percolating with attacks on Iran, expanded war in Afghanistan, Pakistan, Sudan, Somalia, and, of course, Yemen. So you're welcome to call in about that subject. But those are the subjects. Bankstergate, government takeover of health care, naked body scanners, and the empire's wish to start new wars. We're at least going to talk about that in the first and second hour, because we need to focus on this. We need to brainstorm about it. We need to talk about criminal charges from the grand jury level at the state level. You know, if the feds won't go after these bankers because they're in the hip pocket of them, we can have the state grand juries do it. Governor Elliot Spitzer, a year and a half ago, said he was going to go after the bankers and pointed out the fraud at AIG. And you notice he was under full FBI surveillance. Anybody with power is under full FBI surveillance. And they knew about his penchant for hot hookers, and they torpedoed him quick. They know the power of the state going after these people at the state level. And that was a warning shot to anybody that tries to go after these crooks that are squatting on top of the Republic, literally drinking up its last pints of blood. Either we stop the bankers or we go into total enslavement. Stay with us.
He's the T-Rex of political talk. Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network.
listeners of this radio broadcast that in the new year we were going to make some changes here on the radio show. Namely, when I do open the phones up, I am going to I am going to succeed in actually taking your phone calls. And yesterday I took 36 phone calls in my 2-hour abbreviated Sunday broadcast, and today I want to take no less than at least 50. Now, we do have Wayne Madsen joining us on a host of breaking investigative journalism coups that he has successfully carried out in the last month. And, of course, among that, we'll also get his take on Tim Geithner-gate, as some are calling it. I'm calling it Bankstergate. We can't just focus in on Timmy Geithner and his clear criminal activity. And we've seen Ed Schultz saying, looks like the White House is in trouble on this. We've seen Judge Napolitano come out and say that this clearly looks like it is criminal. And the reason that's important is when you have both Fox and MSNBC on multiple reports I've seen, and I'm not even paying attention, coming out and telling the truth about this, it means the bankers are in trouble. They are the New World Order. They are the real government. They are the people who fund all the phony environmentalist movements because they want to seize our land and property in receivership. They are the folks funding the establishment of a private world government and the carbon tax. They are the people that run Northcom and Homeland Security. They are the people turning the Western world into a high-tech police state grid so that they can carry out their criminal activities successfully and not end up going to prison for it. They've passed the point of no return in October of 2008. They are going for broke. Either they win and completely dominate us and bankrupt us so badly that we're like North Koreans or Mexicans, so poor, so destitute that everybody basically goes on welfare and under the control of the state. And where systemic corruption and the kleptocracy of government becomes the norm. America is in a flux period right now. The globalists are trying to form the world into their image of corruption and tyranny. They're very strong during this period, but they're also very weak during this period because they have revealed themselves. They have shown the planet who they are and what they are. For those that don't know what Bankstergate is, it's old news to this audience, but new news to the world. The Obama deception, with precision, names the criminals and the exact crimes committed. These are not secrets. Fall of the Republic in 2 hours and 24 minutes details part 2 of that saga with absolute, total precision. And I'd love to toot my horn, but it's not hard. The crimes are out in the open. It's like someone murdering their wife on their front lawn with a shotgun with 100 neighbors watching.